Okay, so the other day I was cruising TikTok and I saw Kyle Baumer share a prompt from Sabrina Robinoff, and I decided to try it. And so I ended up sharing it in my Facebook group. Now, quickly, I typically don't do prompts and whatnot if they're like super long, mega prompts where you have to fill in so much stuff that it, takes a half an hour just to fill it in. But this one was super quick. The prompt was, based on everything that you know about me, what's the easiest path for me to make $1 million? And I added this nice little part here: don't blow any sunshine at me. And the reason is because we all know that sometimes, while ChatGPT can be our biggest cheerleader, it also doesn't always have realistic expectations. And so I wanted to create an output that would be very realistic. So the first thing I did with this prompt is I dropped it into 4.0 to see what would happen. And it was really good. Like, the whole report it gave me was really good. It actually gave me some ideas for my next launch and some ways to position some of my offers and package them together. And I was really excited about it. But then I decided to pull in my Copywriter Pro, which is my trained GPT that knows like everything about me and has all the background. And when I pulled in the Copywriter Pro, it actually was then able to even articulate better and be even more specific and focused on this make $1 million path. So I posted this in my group, the AI Powered Business with Wendy, and I said here that I pulled in my copywriter, and somebody asked me what that meant. And so I thought I would show you exactly what pulling in another GPT into a chat can actually look like. So now I'm in my chat GPT, and actually I'm in that chat that I did where I asked it the original question, and then I pulled in my Copywriter Pro GPT and asked it to go farther. But specifically, what does it look like, and what do I mean by pull in another GPT? And basically it's called GPT chaining. Some people call it GPT stacking, but I call it GPT chaining because, much like when we first started, before we even had these tools, where we could go, I'm going to show you a real-time example, where we could go and chain prompts together, which was basically a prompt and then another prompt and then another prompt that kind of build on each other. GPT chaining is a similar type of thing. So let's say I go into this email workshop feedback, and I'm working on some emails for my upcoming workshop, the 1-Hour GPT Planning Workshop. If you haven't got your ticket, you totally should go do that right now. It's only $27 as of the time of this recording. And I've asked it to give me some different email ideas based on a document that I pulled up. Now, right now, I'm already in my personalized Copywriter Pro. But let's say, for instance, I wanted to pull in another GPT. Here's the way to do it. And this is what I call GPT chaining. You go into the box and you hit the @ sign, and then it's going to bring up a list of all of your other GPTs. So for instance, if I wanted to move over to this promo wizard and I wanted to say, rewrite an email, now it's going to pull the instructions from this GPT. So it's now not going to be reading this GPT, it's reading this one. So I'm chaining them together. Now here's the caveat. This GPT can only read what's in this conversation above. So let's say I add this document. I can say, review the doc and write me 10 new workshop subject lines. Now it's using the instructions and the style and all of the programming that it has in this GPT because I've pulled it in. Now these are great, but let's say I want to go back and validate them with my own Copywriter Pro GPT. And again, remember, this one is the one that's like knows everything about all of my offers and pricing and clients and target audiences and all that good stuff. So all I need to do then is simply X out of this one and go back and bring in my other one. And now it's going to be looking at this GPT again. So you can go back and forth and chain as many GPTs as you want to. It's very, very exciting, and it makes life a little easier. And so the other thing you can do is, let's say, for instance, you start a new chat. And you start typing and then you hit enter and you think, oh shoot, I really wanted to be in one of my GPTs. So let me just go back over here and I'm gonna pull these. I'm just gonna copy these to give you an example. And then I'm going to go over to a new chat. And let's say I pasted these in and I said, what do you think about these as subject lines? Now keep in mind, this is just a regular chat, so it has a lot of memory built into it already. But let's just see what happens, and then I'm going to show you how I can start with a chat that didn't originate in a GPT and bring one in. These are strong, clear, blah, blah, blah. So it's telling me which ones it likes and which ones it doesn't like based on everything that it knows about me just in the regular memory. And now what I can do is I can say the @ again, and then I can pull back in this, and I can say, review this chat above and tell me what you think about those subject lines. And now it's going back and it's first going to look at the knowledge base. It's going to look at all of the information that it has in this pre-programmed GPT. So you can see it's no BS. SAS meets strategy, right? That's my whole jam. SAS meets strategy meets simplicity. So now it went back through them and it gave me them again based on what it knows because of my Copywriter Pro GPT. So this can be very handy because you can start conversations and just use your memory. But if the memory fails you and you have a GPT that's much more programmed, and I use my Copywriter Pro for practically everything these days, you can pull it in. Now, let me tell you about one caveat. If I go into a chat that's in a project, so now I'm in a chat that's in my YouTube project. I'm going to go to this one. Now watch, it will not pull up GPTs because you can't use custom GPTs inside of a project, and I'm in a project. So that's the caveat, is that you can use them if you start a regular conversation, if you're in a conversation where you started with a custom GPT or a regular chat. But the minute you move into a project, you cannot pull in a custom GPT because this project only works from the memory built into that particular project, the project files and the instructions. This project has its own memory bank, so it can't basically go outside of it. It's a walled garden. Okay, so that's how you end up pulling in GPTs. I call it pulling in GPTs or GPT chaining. Again, you'll hear the term GPT stacking, which is just the exact same thing as what I showed you. So don't be fooled by any of the information. It's simple when you know how to use it, and it's a very powerful way to use some of the custom GPTs that maybe you've collected in the past or that you are building for others. Okay, I hope that you have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions. Take care.